What's going on, guys? How you doing? I've been seeing some of this stuff pop up on my feed recently, and I haven't seen it before. I'm new to all this. I feel like I'm totally new to all this, even though I've been doing it for a little while. And I have a couple of things to say about this. I don't even know how I'm going to make this video. I have no idea. This is just going to be like free flow, improvise, brain dump. That's how I do things. If you know me musically or whatever, I like to improvise. I like to just capture it and then edit from there and just different things like that. That's how I would write. That's how I like to play, all of it. So that's what this is going to be, basically. And the topic has to do with reactors and reaction channels and things like that. And these people that don't like reactors, making videos on the negatives of reaction channels and reactors and all that kind of thing. And again, I have some thoughts on it. Most of you would say that I'm a reactor. I'm a reaction channel. That's what the majority of the content is. It didn't start that way. I started just putting up music videos and bass videos and things like that, all music related, because I'm a musician. Like in real life, I'm a musician. And part of that is, being an entertainer and all that kind of thing. So then here I'm an entertainer or whatever, however you want to think about it. It doesn't fucking matter to me. It really doesn't matter. But when I kind of stumbled into doing this, and if you go back, I haven't deleted any videos or privated any videos or anything like that. So you can go back and you can see how god awful my first however many reaction videos are. They're terrible, right? I haven't looked back at them, but I remember them. And when I see the thumbnails and all that stuff, I'm just like, oh God, that was terrible. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know that it was like a genre or a subgenre or whatever you want to call it. I just was making videos because my music career was essentially blown up by COVID in a lot of ways. And I decided that was best for my family to move out of California at the time because I just had a kid and all that kind of, and my work wasn't coming back in the same type of way. So that was just the decision that I made. Maybe it was too fast. Maybe I should have waited longer, but ultimately what happened was supposed to happen. That's how I see it. What happened was supposed to happen. And how it happened, all that, it was supposed to happen, right? Everything happens for a reason, all those kinds of things. So I wasn't playing gigs, and my wife was like, you should just do more YouTube, because I already was into YouTube. Both of us were into YouTube, and I had posted videos, my channel I made in 2016, something like that. So it's not new, but me doing these kinds of videos is new. It's only a couple of years old. I think my first ones were in like 2021, like late 2021, I believe is when I started doing this. So reactors. First, what happened was I got this video from this cat, Zachary Smeagol, how the YouTube algorithm promotes thievery. Okay. And I don't know these people, right? I am not familiar with their content. But I did watch this video and I thought it was a good video. He makes like video essays or whatever, and he's got 161,000 subs, and that's cool. That's great, right? I don't know how the YouTube algorithm works. He's saying that he made a video that then Asmongold made a video of. Asmongold, if you don't know, is a much larger reactor. Like he does Twitch and like gaming and then reaction videos and all that kind of thing, right? He's very big. I actually watch Asmongold. I like Asmongold. Okay, which we'll get to that also. That ties into some of this. I do watch some reaction channels. I like them. I'm not saying I like everybody and like all of it, but there are people that I do like to watch, and there's a reason for that, which I'll get to. But this guy's saying that basically Asmongold, this guy that has he's got 2 million subs, something like that, his main channel. And this guy only has 161. And he reacted to one of this guy's videos and it blew up because he's got 2 million subs, right? A lot of attention, a lot of people watching. So he could put out a video and within a week it'll have 1 million views, that type of thing, right? Huge. Where this video's been out for 2 weeks. It's got 167,000 views, which is amazing. I would love to have that. That would be great. That would be great, right? So that's really fantastic. But he has a problem with that because he's saying that somehow the algorithm promotes the reaction more and it hurts his original video, and he made the video and he's the original guy, and why is somebody just taking it and maybe they're getting credit or whatever, but they're not like getting paid for it or any of that kind of thing. And to me, I'm just thinking about, I'm in the music industry and like over 50% of it is based on theft to some extent, right? Whether it's, I mean, hello, right? So I'm kind of like, you know, also, I do a lot of music reactions and I don't get paid for like over 90% of them, right? The majority of them because they're copyright claims, right? Which makes sense. Like I get it. I understand. So all those videos, the copyright owner makes the claim on the videos and they get the ad revenue. So I don't understand how he couldn't do that. Couldn't he make a copyright claim and then he would get all that revenue? That would be a good thing. And I know that there's people that are like, and bands and artists and stuff like that are like cool with reaction videos and reactors and stuff like that. Like Ren, I think, is cool with them. Nightwish, I heard, is cool with them. And then there's ones that are not cool with them. Famously, the Eagles and the other artists and stuff like that, right? That are like not into it. They hold their copyright more tightly, and that's fine. They're entitled to that. Cool. So, but I don't understand why this guy couldn't do the same thing in terms of make a copyright claim. He said that he reached out to Asmongold and said, "Hey, can you take down the video?" And he was like, "Yeah." So he took it down. Okay, cool. So, and then I found this guy, right? From finding that video, I found this guy, DarkViperAU, who has made a few videos on, this one, Reactors, the professional parasites, featuring Asmongold and XQC. XQC, I didn't know. I just found out about this guy from this video. And then he's got this other one, Are Creators Exploited by Reactors, featuring Necrit. I don't know who that is, so that's a new person to me. And Asmongold. Asmongold, he's a pretty big reactor. And again, I watch Asmongold. Now, this guy, DarkViperAU, again, these are long videos. I haven't even watched all of it, but I watched a big portion of it. And there's a lot of different things that they touch on. But the things that I'm thinking about are, they're talking about like, I spent all this time and effort and resources making this original content. And just for these other people, reactors or whatever, to just take that content and then re-upload it and add their commentary on it. And sometimes, one of the critiques is sometimes the commentary is stupid. It's not very transformative, things like that. And I understand that because there's certainly plenty of times, especially in early videos, people make fun of me about it all the time. Fine. Yeah, nice. Okay, great. Cool. Right. Where I don't have a lot to say. Sometimes I have a lot to say. Other times I don't. It totally depends. And I get it. I get it. Sometimes it's ridiculous. It's like, okay, you didn't do anything. This is totally stupid. Right. And I get it. And there are other times where I see all your comments. You guys know that I heart all your comments. I'm reading your comments, right? I'm seeing them, and I make comment section videos. I know I haven't done one in a bit, but I have done them because I read your comments. I wish I would start doing those videos earlier, actually. But anyways, so he's talking about, all the original content, and you're just re-uploading it, and sometimes they're not transformative, right? I was talking all about that kind of stuff. And these guys are benefiting oftentimes more so than the original content creator, which I don't know. I find a little bit hard to believe. I think it depends. Also, they're talking about if the creator, someone like Asmongold, who is so much bigger, has way more subs, they're able to get way more views on that content, right? That video than the original content video. And that's not fair. Things like that. There's a lot of this not fair type of thing. And here's one of the first big points that I have is if people didn't want it, they wouldn't watch it. So the fact that he's gotten 2 million subs or however many subs he has, or that I have 30,000 subs, which again is nothing in comparison, obviously. but many reactors and reaction channels and all that have tons of subs, right? This XQC guy, 2.36 million subs. And all these views, look at these videos, right? You go to his most popular, 4.6 million, 3.6 million, 3.5, right? And even the latest ones, 2,600, 19 minutes ago, he posted this, 2,600 views. 3 hours ago, 12,000 views. That tells me that there's a market for it, whether you like it or not. So that's a big deal, right? I mean, to me, that's a big deal. The other thing I have to say is maybe don't worry about what other people are doing. Maybe just worry about yourself. And if you see something where it's like, well, that's not, and you start going on and on about that's not fair, it's like, so you're the arbiter of what's fair and what's not fair, right? Again, the people are speaking, they're saying there is a market for it, right? Whether you like it or not. Part of this is I'm playing devil's advocate, right? I like to do that because it's important. That's one of the ways that you're able to see both sides is playing devil's advocate. So it's like, okay. And again, you're also making a video. You're able to make content based off of this, which is, it's fine. You can do what you want. Some of it I think is warranted and makes sense and are critiques that make sense. Some of it is a little bit like, woe is me, crybaby, it's not fair, right? Life's not fair. The world's not fair. And I'm kind of like, well, if people are going to it and they want it and they like this person, here, we'll get into another point that I have about reactions and reactors. That's not fair, right? Like it, whatever. So here's my next point with it is that I watch Asmongold. And not all of his videos because I'm not a gamer. I'm not into gaming and games and things like that. I left that decades ago, right? I'm not into it, right? Kind of like I'm not into movies. I'm into the things that I like. So there'll be videos of his that I'll watch that I like. And some of it I watch because, I'm trying to get ideas for myself. And others I watch because I'm interested. So see, I watched this. They thought their job was safe, talking about AI and voice actors losing their jobs to AI. And somebody made this video, right?
Companies.
So this has been
Look, this is BBC News. Okay, BBC News. He's watching BBC News. Okay, that's who made this video. I'm watching Asmongold watch this video because of his personality and because of his commentary. Some of it is good. Some of it is like, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, right. It's just like those kinds of things. But then also he'll input in his thoughts, which is super interesting. It can be, depending, right? This is the same thing as like looking through music and digging to find the good stuff. And when you get other people's point of views and their perspective on things, that helps you see things differently. And I know enough of that happens, at least on my channel, having to do with music, because I see the comments and I see what people are saying. And that's among the reasons why people come back. Because it's like, yeah, I want to hear his opinion. Sometimes his opinion is not what I want, not what I'm looking for. But you can't, if it's my opinion, whether it's what you're looking for or not, that's on you to accept it or not. My opinion might be, I'm okay with this. This is whatever. Or it may be deeper than that. It's not all going to be just like super deep or whatever. Because again, for a lot of what I am doing, it's music. And like I say all the time, there's a lot of mediocre music, like a lot. Making incredible music is hard. It's not easy to make incredible music. But incredible music is incredible. It moves you, it hits you, all that kind of thing. And also what moves you and hits you is not the same for everybody. So then there's also those people who don't like reactors or reaction channels or whoever if the opinion is not the same as theirs, which is childish, silly, right? Of course. So, and again, that's kind of how I find a little bit of some of this stuff is I'm kind of like, okay, woe is me. World's not fair. And I'm just like, if it was really stupid and it really is just obviously, if people were not okay with exploitation, they wouldn't be watching these. There wouldn't be an audience for it, right? This guy is saying our creators exploited by reactors. And it's like, well, the audience doesn't think so, apparently, right? Part of what he was saying was, well, if there weren't these reactors, then there wouldn't be those reaction videos. And then there would be more of original content videos in your feed. And you would then click on those. It's like, maybe not. That sounds a little idealistic, right? Maybe, but maybe not. It sounds like, some made up scenario that's not reality. Reality is we have what we have and people make choices. And if they choose to watch Asmongold, just for example, because they like Asmongold, they like the personality, that's no different than watching CNN versus Fox News or MSNBC or any of that kind of stuff. And that's a lot of what, I mean, if you watch news, even for 2 seconds, so much of what they do is, here to get your reaction is, such and such, such and, I'm interested in what your reaction is. It's all reaction. It's all reaction, right? So, but you like someone's personality, right? There are people that like Tucker Carlson. They do. They just do. There's people that like Jen Psaki. They do. They just do. Right. And it's whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. That's why I'm like, to critique someone else's stuff like this, which is what reactors do. So, there's that. Again, you're totally cool to do that and totally cool to make these videos. I don't fully agree. It's not just because I'm a reactor. I'm just trying to be open-minded about it. Ultimately, I'm just kind of like, I mean, I get what you're saying, but some of what you're saying is a little world's not fair. And it's like, tell that to the kids in the war-torn countries. I mean, come on. This is total first world BS. So anyways, I thought I would come on here and talk about this. I know I didn't play any of these videos, mostly because I don't want to, this guy especially is like, I'm gonna, take it down or what, tell them to take their video down or whatever. And again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he can't copyright claim it. Maybe he can't go on YouTube and say, hey, this video is using my content. I want to claim it. And then he would get all that ad revenue from the probably million views that Asmongold got on it. That's great, right? Isn't it? That's pretty amazing. That's what all these music artists are doing. Maybe not the artists themselves, but the publishers, right? The companies themselves, whoever owns the copyright, basically. But again, this guy's making his own original content. He's copyright owner. He should be able to do that. Maybe I have it wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe there's something that I'm missing with it. But to me, the big thing is people come to reactors and reactions because they want somebody's opinion on it. They want to see somebody's reaction on something that they're into, potentially, or that they're just curious about, right? And also, people like to do things with other people, and one of the ways of doing that, wherever you live, is to do it on the internet, right? It's just what it is, right? It's like, I want to hear this guy's opinion on this. Oh, I want to see this video, and it's like you're seeing the video with somebody else and you're getting their opinion on it. And how many of you, when you're watching these videos, you're then talking at the screen? No different than TV, right? I can remember grandparents, yelling at the TV, talking to the TV, responding back to the TV. It's the same thing. The same thing. I get that they're talking about, well, there's no effort in it or whatever, because it's not the same type of effort. It's not the same. And also they talk about they're spending all their resources and time and energy into making this original content. And what's the point if someone's just going to take it? And it's like, well, then don't. Like, if your reason for doing it is so that nobody could just take it. Once you create something, you put it out into the world, it's kind of no longer yours. Like, it is, but it's not. Like, it may have your name on it, but that's that. It's just out into the world. And again, I'm a musician. So nobody has gotten, maybe there are some industries that have really gotten taken advantage of in this kind of way, like the music industry. But yo, the music industry, right? Napster, been dealing with this for 24 years or whatever, over 20 years now. And that's just, again, one example. And you have to, the point is, you have to adapt. And also, if your reason for making something is so you can just make all the money, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons, right? I mean, that's what it is. That's just that's just what it is. And again, I'm coming from a music perspective, right? You don't write a song because you're like, I mean, maybe one of your reasons is, hey, I want this to be a hit and I want to make a lot of money off of it. But also, you, especially if you're doing it nowadays, you understand that you're in music and the chances of that is like stupid. It's like stupid small. You're not doing it for that reason. You're not. So make things because that's what you do, is you make things because you're a human. So just make it. And if you make it because you made something, amazing, fantastic, great. And if someone takes what you made and remixes it, there's a music, a little music in there, remixes it, maybe like creates hip hop off of it or something like that, like spins, hip hop being famous for just sampling and things like that, but creating something new with it, that's amazing. That's fantastic. It's just like the process of things. It's not a big deal. It's just not. Anyways, there you go. That's what I got to say about it. And like I said, this is fully improvised. I didn't know where this was going to go. I knew that I had a couple of points which I brought up. I'm sure if I were to really dig more into, like, I watched this guy's full video, but this guy's got longer videos and I didn't watch all of it. I only got into some of it and I kind of got the gist at least a little bit. And I scrolled through some of this to see, okay, analysis, lack proper data, right, seeing what some of this, overlooking other ways original content is harmed, just different. I mean, he's showing that an original video right here, right? He's showing that, okay, you make the original video, it does really well. And then a reactor like Asmongold comes in and just blows it out of the water in terms of views. I mean, again, my question is, and I may have this answer wrong. I admit that. But I would, if I were them, I would at least look into it. Hey, can I copyright claim that because they're using my content? So how about I claim it and then I make the ad revenue off of that video? That's what I would do. The fact that Asmongold, and this guy actually talked about it a bit, he was saying that for smaller creators, it can be a good thing because if someone like Asmongold finds your video and watches it and reacts to it in front of his millions audience, that's a million eyes on your content. So there's that. It doesn't translate into you getting those millions of people, but I mean, do you get a bump? I don't know. I just think it's not a big deal. This is somebody who has written music, who also plays cover songs. This is again, I'm in the music industry, so it's like taking other people's content, other people's works, and doing it is like at least 50% of the industry, right? It's a big thing. So, anyways, all right, what do you guys think? Right, you viewers of reactions and reactors. Again, so much of it has to do with personality, I think, right? You watch people because you like them, right? You like their personality. I remember when I first started doing this, I thought it was so weird. Like, why would somebody watch me listen to something or watch me watch something? Watch me watch some band performance or something like that. But then as I just did it more and I listened to what people were saying in the comments and I did it more and I did it more, I'm like, oh, yeah, I get it. I get it a lot more. I get it a lot more. And also, I like watching certain reactors for me, right? I mean, I like watching Asmongold, depending on what the video is, right? So I watched that one. There's others that I've watched. Parents sue their 30-year-old deadbeat son. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's hilarious, right? And I knew about this story. I heard about it. just different ones. And then I also like watching what's that cat's name? This cat, Jamel Jamal. And this guy's been doing it for a while, much longer than me. Where's his first reactions? Right? Some of these 5 years ago, right? I mean, this guy's come a long way. He finally hit 1 million subs. Good for him. You know, it's cool. And I find this guy interesting because he switched from music to more pop culture, news type of related things, which I think is definitely influencing me right now, for sure. So, I have people that I like. People talk about Sniper Wolf, being famously, and also she doesn't give credit to anybody. That's a whole other thing. I'm not saying that that's right, but again, millions of views, millions of subs. That says the market has spoken, like it or not. And if that means you think people are stupid, how do you take advantage of that? Or how does that benefit you? Or how does that, what does that do? What do you do with that? What is your reaction to it? Is ultimately what it is. And if your reaction to it is life's not fair, that doesn't really help you any. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you in the next video. Later.